We do want to talk to you about that question for providers at TriHealth. It has to do with hepatitis C, and there is a new cure on the rise. It has to do with, mainly we're looking at heroin use. Heroin, big epidemic now. You can cure, get people off that, and then you often have a blood disease you don't know about, which is Hep C. So we want to make sure people know about this and a new cure that experts at TriHealth can tell us more about.
I got up one morning and instead of my ankles being swelled up, my ankles were swelled, my legs were swelled, they were blood red.
Those were just a few of the symptoms for Richard Davis as hepatitis C, a virus, began to shut down his liver. Now that virus undetectable in his blood, which means he is all but cured of this disease.
That day was one of the happiest days that I can remember for a long time.
Majority of the patients think that hepatitis C is not curable, and it is a curable disease with the 90 to 95% chance of cure rate with the new treatment.
Dr. Raja Chablavada, a liver specialist who says this new treatment that worked for Davis, called Harvoni, is simply a pill taken for 8 to 12 weeks. It attacks the virus so it's gone for good.
If they're negative at 3 months after completion of the treatment, they can be named cured.
And it won't come back?
If they're negative at 3 months after completion of the treatment, it will not come back.
One of the biggest problems, however, is that the symptoms of Hep C don't often show up until it's at a very advanced stage. So there are certain populations which should be tested, and you can do that right in your own doctor's office.
Those populations include former IV drug users, baby boomers, or those born between 1945 and 1965, and those who may have had a blood transfusion before the blood supply was screened for Hep C.
It may take anywhere from 20 to 30 years from the time of infection to develop any symptoms.
Bottom line for Richard Davis,
I wish we could change our mentality from how did you get this to how are you going to cure this. Because it really doesn't matter how you got it. If you're walking around with it and you know you have it, or you have an inclination that you could have it, get tested, because this will kill you.
Just great advice for all of us. And if you have a question for providers at TriHealth, go to local12.com, click on Ask the Expert. The one group I want you to know about is women who had blood transfusions in childbirth 20 or 30 years ago before it was screened. Lots of times that's showing up now.